Khan Shalom. Kala Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Sab Bashim Krakadash. They were honest to the elders and sing honest to the apostles, preaching and teaching us the word of truth. And with sincerity as always. Okay, now in this video, we're going to get into some articles I saw yesterday, which are prophetic in part of the prophecy. So here's a scripture which reads, 2nd Ezra 16 and 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Okay. Verse 20, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So here's one plague that relates to that. Here in this article here, which reads, invasive jumping worms that violently trash if handled now in at least 15 U.S. states. So here you go, man. You got a highly invasive species of jumping worms. A jumping worm first spotted in Wisconsin in 2013 has now been found in more than a dozen Midwestern states. So you see, that's a plague right there. As it reads, scientists warn they feed on organic matter in soil, eating many of the crucial nutrients that plants, fungi, and animals require to thrive. So there you go. This worm right there, it's bad for them. It's bad for their crops, and it can cause famine. So that's a plague from the Most High there. It says, with the species known to violently thrash when handled, scientists have documented that they have snake-like movement and can shed their own tails to escape when put under duress. They are also known as crazy worms, Alabama jumpers, or snake worms. Who noted in a blog these worms are known to damage plant roots and alter water holding capacity of the soil. This is especially a concern in our forests whose organic matter is limited. It is important to stop the spread of jumping worms, she wrote last week. Due to their appetites for soil nutrients, the worm grow twice as fast as other species. They reproduce without mating and damage roots severely, causing weaker plants that are more susceptible to pests, drought, and disease. She explained. So yeah, man, that's a plague from the Most High. And another article about World War III. And even this article here with the giant hornets. Esau's trying to seek new tools to combat invasive giant hornets. Which can decimate local honeybee hives and threaten crops that rely on pollination. And here's the other article. Okay, the scripture. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 5. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And that's World War III here, the sword. This is 2 Esdras 16, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, which is going to be by the wars. The beginning also as well as the other plagues. The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. That's America here. They're captains and governors here. The beginning of evils, which shall do, and these evils shall come. Verse 33, the birds shall mourn having no bridegrooms, the women shall mourn having no husbands, the daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. And there you go. It reads, top military official warns China and Russia are modernizing nuclear weapons faster than U.S. There you have it, man. Russia modernizing their nuclear weapons, and China as well. And then this Edomite said, if it does not start investing more in nuclear defense and infrastructure, the U.S. will be at risk of losing credibility in the eyes of our adversaries. Russia is aggressively engaged in conventional nuclear capacity development and modernization, and are now roughly 80% complete, while we are at 0. You see that? It says they are at 80% complete. And China as well, man, and you got Israel as well that got nuclear weapons. Plus with what U.S. did to Hiroshima and them, and what the U.S. has done to all these other nations as well. To Britain, I believe, back in World War II, that they bombed one of Britain's factories, man. So, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that happened. But they're not. That one's not more. That one's less popular though. Cause I heard of something about U.S. dropping a bomb on a Britain factory, and this documentary I was trying to watch yesterday, but they ain't go into it so much, so I'm not whether, I believe, so they ain't go into it too much, so, but yeah. And yeah, there's basically a World War III of prophecy there, man. Then I have all these other articles. Melting ice in the Arctic. That's was last week. Snowstorm update. Detroit and Ann Arbor still will get snow. Changes for Grand Rapids. Saginaw forecasts. So con, dude. And then another plague here is these measles. Another bro identified in zebra measles in Montana, Anaconda, dude. And it's an invasive species that says in their waterways. So yeah, that's a plague. Another plague there, because a couple weeks ago they were in pet stores there at Reed's. And then it reads, they notified officials in Idaho and Washington. So it's all that animals spread everywhere. And then just an interesting article here is the Fukushima water. If you news around last year, you heard about this, and it came back. This was last week, I think. Yep. The radioactive water. Here it reads, why is Japan going to dump radioactive water from Fukushima nuclear plant in the sea? What are the risks, and is there an alternative? Because this earth right now is polluted, it's dirty, and it's all out of course. I mean, with this weather and stuff, this is not natural weather, man. It shouldn't be sunny and then hot. It's not normal, so... But it makes sense because America is known as... America means bitter, and that's what this weather is. Bitter. It's bitter. And that's why we gotta get out of here, you know. And then you have, just to prove that, everywhere it reads, chemical found in 1,000 processed foods may harm the immune system. It's proven that even Edom scientists know, and scholars here, but their colleges, their scientists know about these processed foods, and their chemtrails as well, they know about it. So that's fulfilling that prophecy which reads, their tongue shall fall upon themselves, and the foundation of the earth out of course. And then you have the pink supermoon, which was last week. Yep, last week. The blood moon. April. Pink supermoon emerges again on April 26th, and you're gonna have another one on April 26th. It reads, that's a blood moon, and that's a sign as it reads, as the scripture reads. And Joel, chapter 4, I believe. The blood shall be turned, the moon shall turn, the moon shall turn to blood, and the sun shall be darkened. The sun's being darkened are the eclipses, which I remember you had one about last year down there in where Northern Kingdom is, in Chile and stuff. So you know. With that, and then here you have another rumor of war here, or no drought. You have in Oregon, California, one of the worst droughts you're having over there right now. So yeah, you see the Most High sending droughts and pestilence of these animals eating their crops, and rumors of wars like you had in Egypt, or well, worse than you had in Egypt actually, because Egypt didn't have any wars, but America is gonna have World War III coming to them, man. Because China hates y'all niggas, man. China hates y'all niggas. Iran hates y'all niggas, and they have missiles. Russia hates y'all niggas, and they got missiles as well. And China ain't forget about Fukushima, man. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna close out with that. And then you have Biden taking away guns as well, because he knows the riots that's gonna happen, and the plan the elites have, dude, to put these people in boxed in, dude. So with that, call Allah, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, Bashim Krakadash. Double honors to the apostles, preaching and teaching us the word of truth with sincerity as always. About a ball, wa shalakarim, wa nashim, wa abadiyim, wa haragim, wa aspayim, to America and the 2/3 and all these other nations. Ishmael and Ham and all of them. Because you have the snowstorm there in Detroit, that's a plague of weather, strange weather. The invasive jumping worms, the measles, saber measles, and the droughts you're having there in California, Oregon, and this World War III update, which was updated yesterday. Their top military official, and that's coming from their top military official warning them, man. So yeah, pray and hope this was edifying. Until next time, Lord willing, Shalom.